sports fans, and welcome inside the Ted Reeve Arena here in the east side of Toronto. We're located at Main Street and Gerrard, home of the Toronto Junior A Beaches lacrosse team. But tonight, we'll be home to the GTA Rollergirls. It is co-ed chaos featuring the team in black. They are the Black Ops, OPS, Oklahoma Prison Squad, and the white team, Double XY, WHY with a question mark. If you've never seen the sport of roller derby before, had a huge following back in the 70s and 80s, but this is not your daddy's form of roller derby. This is all real. This is a great sport. You're going to really enjoy what you're about to see here tonight. We'll be walking you through the sport as well as sort of explaining what will happen. We've got two jammers lined up at the back of the pack. DH98 for Double XY is Holly de Havilland. Lined up next to her, 322 is Chronic Master Nader. Will be doing the jamming. Four teammates will stand in front of them. They are the blockers. You're going to hear two sets of whistles. There is the first one that will release the main pack. They will skate up to a purple line that you can see there on your screen. As they pass that, the pack must stay together. If they go out, the timer will do two quick whistles. There they go, and the jammers will release. Now watch here as the teammates are going to block out, and we've got one jammer down in the back. Jammer's working. They have the stars on their helmet. Chronic Master Nader is going to break out right in front. He is the lead jammer, signified by the referee's arm going up. In the back, the referee waving her arms side to side indicates that she is not the lead jammer. Here's Chronic Master Nader now. He's about to score points as he passes through. Getting some blocking from his team, and as he touches his waist, his hands to his hips, that will stop the jam. He'll call it off. And we'll wait and see how many points he's got. They've ruled that as he's come around to lap the pack. As you pass the opposing members of the team, you score 1 point for each hip that you pass, and we've got 1 minute in between jams, 30 seconds in between jams. They've now given him 3 points for Chronic Master Nader. We're getting set up here for the second jam. 5 seconds to go here. We've got red lining up for black OPS and tic-tac-toe 3x3. Pack gets released, and they'll go up to their line. And now the double whistle will release the jammers. Watch out for tic-tac-toe. This guy moves in ways that even Gumby would be proud. Here they come up to the front. Tic-tac-toe broke through. They're going to rule him the lead jammer, even though he stumbled and had to go back into the pack. Now he gets knocked down again. Looked like he might have gone out of bounds. If you do go out of bounds, you have to come back in behind the player that knocked you out of bounds. Otherwise, that will be a penalty. And with red out in front of tic-tac-toe, tic-tac-toe calls off the jam as the lead jammer. For those of you who are not familiar with roller derby, it may look like organized chaos. It may look like a demolition derby on roller skates. However, a lot of strategy involved in the sport in terms of blocking, in terms of gaining position. Holly de Havilland going to take the jammer position again. Should be lined up with number 12. Smashing Booty, number 12 for the Black Ops. Pack taking their time, getting things set up as they roll towards. You will notice a couple blockers in the pack wearing stripes on their helmet as opposed to the stars that jammers have. They are the pivots, and they effectively call the play. There we go. Holly de Havilland breaks her way out. Some beautiful blocking. And now here comes Slammin' Booty trying to break through. And she does get past F-150 for Double XY. On the same straightaway now, this is Holly de Havilland. She's getting some help from her pivot as she's trying to work her way through the track. A huge block there by 44-44. She picks up a couple points. And Holly de Havilland will call off the jam as she's got 2 on the board. A number of community-based roller derby leagues have been popping up all over the area. Find one closest to you and go out and check out this great sport. Here in Toronto, obviously GTA Rollergirls, Toronto Roller Derby playing up at Downsview Park. In white, number 1532, Wretched Gretchen, and number 101, Hobbit, are going to take up jamming duties. Co-ed chaos here tonight, men and women on the same track together. A throwback to the glory days of roller derby. However, we are on the flat track. Not the banked one of olden days. We are not scripted like we were back in the olden days. Something falls down on the track, and here we go. This is what we were talking about before, about cutting the track. Hobbit got knocked out, went out of bounds. And as they come around the back straightaway, we've got 1532. Wretched Gretchen breaks out of the pack. Pivot calling the play. This is going to be a power jam, as we've got Hobbit coming over to the penalty bench to serve for cutting the track, I believe. This is a power jam with the jammer in the penalty box. We've got 1 minute left here in the 2-minute jam. We'll wait and see how many points Wretched Gretchen can pick up. Pack in disarray over on the back corner. No help in the blocking the pack. White claiming that they've got the entire pack, and she goes by one more time. She's already picked up 10 points here in this jam. Now they'll set up some blocks for her as Wretched Gretchen comes around to try and pass him a third time. Do it as many times as you like within the 2-minute jam. Or before you decide to call it off by putting your hands on your hips like we've said all night long. Wretched Gretchen went out of bounds and she had to come back in. They're going to call somebody for cutting back in the track. Wretched Gretchen's got a couple more points under her belt. She's trying to pick up the last 2 blockers from Black Ops. And now she does. She's got a full 5 points. 15 on the jam. Hobbit's released. Here he comes back on the track. The jam is about to expire, and now it finally does. By my count here on the track, 15 big points for Wretched Gretchen and Double XY. That's about 6 minutes gone here in this opening period. 2 30-minute halves here in roller derby. Sanctioned by the World Flat Track Derby Association. Getting news this week that Derby will be considered for the 2020 Olympic Games. They're started with a list of 12, down to 8 finalists. And roller derby is one of those finalists. Chronic Masternator and Tic Tac Toe will line up for the jam now. Pack has already been released. They'll go up to their line. This looks like Nikita Bruzhev standing back there waiting before these jammers can get released. Making sure everything gets set up the way they want it. Jam clock is running. Already 30 seconds into it right now. And remember, folks, this is all strategy. She'll get it the way she wants. The pivot comes back to chase her back to the line. And here we go. Jammers are released. Tic Tac Toe takes the outside line. He takes a big bump as well. He's gone off the track. From our vantage point, it looked like he had gone off the track, but they're going to rule no. Tic Tac Toe. Watch him go now as he's released from the pack. Chronic Masternator right behind him. Pack making their way around. Chronic Masternator puts on the afterburners. As Tic Tac Toe taking the corners. They're going to come down the back straight. And, Tic Tac Toe getting some help. He passes a couple of Black Ops players, puts his hands on his hips, calls off the jam. They're going to rule he did pass 2 players before the whistle was blown. 4 whistles, calls off the jam. And if you stop the clock, you keep passing people before that 4th whistle, all of those do count. Number 5 in black, his name is Red. Line up for the Black Ops. DH98, Holly de Havilland back out there again to do the jamming on this jam. This is the 6th jam of the period. And right now we've got a 19-3 lead for Double XY, the team in white. Trying to break out now. She's being blocked by the pivot is Holly de Havilland. Quick move to go around the right-hand side. And now she does. She's broken out, and Red is stuck back there in the pack. The pivot for white. Call me Buble. Call me Buble and Splat Benatar. Getting together on that block. Red is out now, but he is the trailing jammer. We'll see what Holly de Havilland can do. She passes the entire back before she calls off the jam, picking up 4 more points for white. It's to 3 now, a 20-point lead for Double XY. But as we saw earlier, we've got a player coming up a bit limp on the back straightaway. Believe that's Commando Karen, number U812. She's going to head right onto the player's bench. Smashing Booty, number 12 for Black Ops, and 3x3 Tic-Tac-Toe are going to do the jamming here in our 7th jam of the period. Jammers are released and trying to work her way right through the middle of this Smashing Booty. A couple players fall as Tic-Tac-Toe tries to take the outside line. It's worked for him all game. Why not keep trying to go? Now he's going to get pushed all the way out by the pivot. Pivot for Black is SS Sativa. Officials calling for a penalty, and they will get one on Hobbit. He's going to come and head to the box down on this far end of the arena where I am located. Tic-Tac-Toe still trying to break out, and now he does get past the pivot, and he is the lead jammer. Smashing Booty now trying to take the outside position, and she does, just as the team goes into turn number 1. Tic-Tac-Toe along the front stretch. He's got a full straightaway lead here over the trailing jammer. He's got help from his blockers. He's going to take a bulldodge here. Pardon me, a bulldoze move, grabbing the hips and letting the pivot take him all the way through. And as the jammer comes up to the end of the pack, he will call off the jam before they can pick up points. Remind you to check us out on Twitter at JVI Video. Our entire production schedule, when we've got webcasts coming up, will be thrown up there, whether they're free or if they will be pay-per-view. And of course, join the conversation, hashtag Roller Derby and hashtag JVI, if you want to check out what we will be up to in and around the city of Toronto and the surrounding area. Red is back for Black Ops, number 5. White jammer looks like it is 15-32. Wretched Gretchen, she's already got a few points on the board. Pack slowly making its way to the line. Hoping to get things set up. And now the pivot, Call Me Buble, makes his way up to the front, trying to force the issue here. 4-4-4-4 for Black is Coelho Fauchot. If the pack moves too far ahead, the pack will break up and they will release the jammers. Now there they go. That is in fact the case. If you keep the pack apart for too long, you will find yourself with a penalty. Taking the outside lane, sneaking around the pivot is going to be Wretched Gretchen. Red sneaks through on the inside, both on the back straightaway. Now Hobbit's going to join the pack as his penalty is over. And straight out of the box, he's going to give Call Me Buble a huge hit. And Call Me Buble goes right back at him. Those two have an extremely good battle. As Gretchen comes around to the back of the pack, she had Red right on her haunches, so she decides to call off the jam before Red takes the penalty. A great battle back there between Hobbit and Call Me Buble. Hobbit came out and gave Call Me Buble a huge shot right out of the penalty box, and Buble looked like he took a bit of an exception. They decided to throw down. We'll keep our eye on that matchup. Holly de Havilland now lining up for Double XY. She's got the Jammer star on her helmet, along with Chronic Masternator. He's getting stretched out like you want to do with any exercise that may or may not be on the back of his shirt. He's going to try and just bull his way through while staying in bounds. He does. Holly de Havilland, she's stuck as well. Now she's going to take the outside position. Looks to push her outside, does the pivot for Black Ops, and she did. And pivot takes off, so she can't join behind her. Chronic Masternator, meanwhile, on the back stretch, breaking away from the pack. Holly de Havilland and the pivot renewing their acquaintances, but this time de Havilland gets the better of her, and she's going to take the back straightaway. Full straightaway lead now for Chronic Masternator. He's going to come up along against the back of the pack. Black Ops is going to let him go so they can stick around and block the jam. Chronic Masternator picks up 2 points and calls off the jam, with Holly de Havilland working up on the pack of the Black Ops. 26-5 now, the score in favor of Double XY. We're heading to our 10th jam of the period. We're about halfway through. Matthew Carrick inside the Ted Reeve Arena here on the east side of Toronto. Glad to have you aboard for our first ever presentation of Roller Derby. As we said off the top, this is not your father's roller derby. Number of movies depicting staged fighting and things like that. This is pure sport. The action is all real. Blackhawks jammer Hobbit now. He gets a shot from Call Me Buble. If you remember a couple jams ago, they had a coming together. Looks like Buble remembers that. And the other jammer, Wretched Gretchen, on the back stretch. She went outside. Tic-tac-toe, backtrackings. And Hobbit has to go with him. Now Hobbit and Call Me Buble get together. Wretched Gretchen goes outside one more time. Trying to get past the last jammer, and Hobbit and Call Me Buble one more time getting together. Like I said, we'll keep our eye on this matchup. Hobbit takes the lead jammer position. However, he went outside, committed an infraction on his way by. There are minor infractions, there are major infractions. And back in the pack, tic-tac-toe. Flips up Red. Action all over the place. Wretched Gretchen finally breaks her way through. And Hobbit comes out. Double XY gets the signal from Splat Benatar, the assistant captain here, that they would like to exercise their first timeout. As I was explaining before, if you commit an infraction while you are on your way to the lead jammer position, you are not awarded credit for being the lead jammer. I believe that's the discussion there in the middle. If Hobbit wasn't the lead jammer, how was he able to call that off? Splat Benatar in there on the discussion. Call Me Buble in there as well. We also saw 44-44, Guelo Fauchot getting an explanation from the officiating crew. Holly de Havilland breaks out in front of the pack. Meanwhile, falling Ginger Fight Us. She's stuck at the back of the pack here, and Holly de Havilland could pick up the grand slam. 5 points here in this jam. She's going to get some help from her blockers. Trying the old bulldozer move, trying to break through, and now Ginger Fight Us seeing that happening. She gets some help from her pivot. 4 points for Holly de Havilland as she goes through the pack. She's going to chase down the jammer now. If she can do so, she'll pick up an additional point here. But now Ginger Fight Us is closing in on the pack. Expect to get Holly de Havilland to call this off shortly. Now she realizes it, and she does call it off. Looks like Ginger Fight Us may have picked up 1 point. They have indeed awarded her that extra point. It's going to bring the score to a total of 30-9 now for Double XY, the team with white. Just past the halfway mark of this first period, the 12th jam. Upcoming, we've got Big Red wearing number 5 for Black Ops, taking the jammer stripe. And number 53 in white is Nikita Brushev. Red gets bumped out right at the back of the track. And he had to get back in. Splat Benatar falls as she's trying to block Red. Red stepped out. Referees didn't catch it. Coming back in is Nikita Brushev. And both jammers on the exact same turn. They've given lead jammer status to Red. Pardon me, Brucechev. They gave lead jammer to. They've given the lead jammer status to Nikita Brucechev. Call me Buble, asking for a bit of an explanation. F-150 with the pivot helmet. Alongside SS Sativa, pivot for Black Ops. Jammers are released, and once again, Tic-Tac-Toe trying to take that outside lane. He sneaks back to the inside, a nice cut there on the back straightaway to sneak out to the lead jammer position. And already, he's got a full straightaway plus a turn on the lead. There's a collision at the back between Masternator and one of his blockers, and Tic-Tac-Toe catches up to the pack. Hobbit, however, pushing him out of bounds. Tic-Tac-Toe comes back in. He's already got 1, maybe 2 points. We'll see what Tic-Tac-Toe can do. Chronic Masternator deciding to step back and block. And Hobbit's going to pick up his 3rd penalty of the game already. Tic-Tac-Toe. Maybe a high hit, and as Tic-Tac-Toe comes through, he's going to grab the hips of his blocker and give himself a whip. He's got 5 points. He's arguing he's got 5 points, but they're going to rule he's only got 4 as Chronic Masternator got out of the pack, and he is the trailing jammer. Tic-Tac-Toe can pass him. He will pick up that last point, and now I believe he does. He'll call it off with 5. He lets everyone know how many he's got. Should have picked up another one there. He thought he did. Officials don't give it to him, but it is a 34-9 lead. They're going to rule officially that he scored just 4 as we head to our 15th jam. 10-13 is Jill Farrell, F-E-R-A-L, for Black Ops. Must be a feral squirrel down there on the track. To her right, Holly de Havilland coming back out with the star helmet for double XY. Pack already released. Call me Buble, still with the pivot helmet on, along with Red. Seeing a break in the pack, de Havilland goes through it and takes the outside, but she's pushed out by Red. And she'll come back in. Looks like she was in front of Red when that happened. And she'll break out front. Looks like grabbing the elbow or something. Jill Farrell fell. May have a bit of an injury. She's grimacing as she comes around turns 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Holly de Havilland has caught the entire pack. She's already picked up 1 point with Hobbit still in the box. He is standing now, penalty almost over. Holly de Havilland picks up 4 points for passing the entire pack. And as she gets past Jill Farrell, the jammer, she will call it off for a grand slam of 5 points. Lead stretching out close to 30 points now here for double XY, 38-9. Trying to direct some traffic over there on the double XY bench. Now all the right people are in position. Nurse Joy is a jammer alongside Wretched Gretchen. Nurse Joy for Black Ops, Wretched Gretchen. And at the back of the pack, we've got Nurse Joy getting pushed out of bounds by F-150, who turned around and skated a number of strides back. And half the pack falls now with Nurse Joy at the back of that collision. F-150 looking to block her out, and she does, and then F-150 fell. Nurse Joy still stuck as Wretched Gretchen sneaks out. They're going to rule she had help illegally to do so, and Wretched Gretchen will not be the lead jammer. Wait and see if Nurse Joy can squirt through. Otherwise, we may have our first 2-minute jam of the evening, if I'm not mistaken. Wretched Gretchen has lapped the entire pack. Justine Sane falls in front of her. Now she gets bumped out by Red. Nurse Joy is still trying to come out. She gets bumped by F-150, and Nurse Joy is going to be sent to the box as F-150 backed up. This will be an abbreviated power jam for double XY as Nurse Joy making her way around turns 3 and 4 to come into the penalty box. She sits down, her time will start. And is this Hobbit making his way over one more time? No, pardon me, it is Red coming over as well. 4 white blockers to 3 black ones. And Wretched Gretchen came out. And now Wretched Gretchen gonna take a penalty. We'll see the pack travel around by themselves briefly, but Nurse Joy, no, her team. Nurse Joy's team. Pardon me, Nurse Joy's penalty. There's a sad face being held up here in the penalty box. But 2 minutes expires as Nurse Joy came out of the box. Came all the way around.
When you went like that, and she went down because it was contact. Yep.
Explanation there of the penalty by our official. And they're going to huddle up and talk about it here. Wretched Gretchen still serving the end of her penalty. That'll leave Chronic Masternator out there for the start of this jam. And now her penalty does expire just 7 seconds into the jam. Chronic Masternator going to break out as the lead jammer as Wretched Gretchen had to come back through. She gets a push from behind with help from Splat Benatar. Tripped over the edge, however, and now Big Red back out on the track in front of Wretched Gretchen. He's going to try and do some blocking now. Blocks out Gretchen and paves the way for Chronic Masternator. He's got 2 more to beat. And now he does. Chronic Masternator passing the entire pack now. He's the lead jammer. He's got 4 points up. Wretched Gretchen still stuck in the pack. Chronic Masternator coming around for a second time. He's got 1 turn to catch up to the pack. And now as we watch that, Wretched Gretchen has sneaked out through the front. Big collision in the back. G-Wolf full show falls. He is the pivot. But Chronic Masternator was able to sneak through the rest of the pack. Picks up 8 points for double XY. They're going to give Black a couple points there as well. Pardon me, Chronic Masternator, yes, picks up 4. They're going to roll Wretched Gretchen also with 4, which evens the score, 47-12. We've got 5 seconds for the lineup. Hobbit, after serving a few penalties with the bacon knee-high socks, picked those up in the gift shop, I believe. Lining up to the left of Holly de Havilland for double XY. De Havilland going to take the lead spot. Teammates give her a hole to work through. But it closed up before Hobbit can get there. Now he goes around the outside, and he goes past the entire pack. He is on the front straight, and he is all alone. Meanwhile, a good battle back there between SS Arena and Holly de Havilland, but de Havilland wins the battle, and she is out. She is 1 turn behind Mr. Hobbit as he comes around the back. Justine Sane. Justine Sane and Zooey Basham Wells were back there to block, but he went around both of them with a nice cutback move and called it off before picking up 3 points. Black Ops picking up a couple points here in these last 2 rounds. They have in fact changed the previous jam to give 9 points to Black Ops after that brief discussion. Red and Tic Tac Toe back to do the jamming here as the pack is released. They will await the double whistle. There it is. Officials go with them. And once again, we're going to see Tic Tac Toe go through the hole. Immediately closed up, but Red able to plow through anyways. Call Me Buble able to stop. It looked like Red pushed out Tic Tac Toe, but Tic Tac Toe goes in behind him. Red going to break through. We're going to say the pack broke up. Call Me Buble protesting. But Red has caught up to the end of the pack regardless. Then he's going to Call off the gym. Call me Buble saying he scored 0 points. We'll see what they put up on the board. Looks like the official rule is the same as that of Call me Buble. It will be a score of 0. Switching the pivot helmet out for the Jammer star now. We'll see what SS Sativa can do. In the 27 for Black Ops. Alongside Holly de Havilland. The Jammer stripe one more time. Pack going down on one knee. Breaking up the pack, which would start the Jammers immediately. Just as SS Sativa broke out of the pack, she fell. But SS Sativa is the lead Jammer. Holly de Havilland gives her a huge shot into the bench as she rejoins the pack. She's going to meet up with F-150. F-150 pushes her out of bounds. Now the actual rule is that Holly de Havilland is the lead Jammer. She's going to pass the entire pack now. And there's a blocker in the back. Looks like her skate has broken. She's trying to skate off. She can't get her wheel underneath her. And they're actually going to call maybe for an injury, asking her to stay down. SS Sativa, meanwhile, still trying to break her way out of the pack. Holly de Havilland being met by a force of Black Ops blockers. And is this Justine Sane making her way to the bench? It looks like she's got one of her wheels in her hand. It's extremely interesting. Meanwhile, jam goes on. And the pivot taking the Jammer helmet, that's Hobbit, away. And Nurse Joy after the play falling as well. Justine Sane, I'll make my way over and see what exactly happened. Looked like the toe pick of her skate fell off. And she wasn't able to stand up and skate off. She has a seat now. She's a bit of a chuckle. There's a few people looking at her. Tic-tac-toe coming over to help out repair that skate. Meanwhile, there is another official's timeout on the floor as they discuss this. Looks like it is that cap of the toe being replaced now by tic-tac-toe. Shake of the hands and a drink of whatever something cold you prefer after the game. Usually shared at a local establishment following each one of these derby bouts. Earlier this month in this building, GTA Rollergirls hosting the Fresh Meat Tournament. That is skaters just learning the art of derby, learning how to get comfortable on their quad skates. Join the Fresh Meat pool and teach them everything they need to know about the sport. Teams from each representative of the derby organizations in and around the Greater Toronto area were here to participate, and it was won by the Montreal team, coming out with a number of supporters, including one dressed in a cape and full mask. Not sure who that was, but it was a lot of fun. 12 hours of derby in this building, if you can believe it, folks. We will not be here that long today, but pack breaks up around the back straightaway, and now the Jammers are released. Double XY trying to kill off the clock. As much of it as they could there to start this period, as they've got the big lead. And Red going around the outside of the entire pack. He's going to take the lead Jammer position. Nikita Brushev, meanwhile, she beats Chronic Masternator to the punch. And a half-track lead for Red. And now he is closing on the back of the pack. He's got speed. Nice cutback move there as he goes around. Call me Buble. And immediately as he comes through the pack, he's going to cut it off after scoring 4 points. Your score after 1 period of play, ladies and gentlemen. 57 for Double XY, 24 for Blackhawks. We'll be right back with the second half after this quick break. Second period action. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Red and Tic-Tac-Toe back to jam. Tic-Tac-Toe sneaks through the middle, and he's out as the lead jammer. Red sneaks through the pack as well. Tic-Tac-Toe with about half a straightaway lead. Here comes Tic-Tac-Toe through the back corners. Closing in on the pack. He dekes out Hobbit. Blocker falls, Tic-Tac-Toe. Passes him, looks like he picks up 1 point. Back live with the second period here at the Ted Reeve Arena. Matthew Carrick alongside you, getting set up for the second jam of the period. Chronic Masternator back to jam, along with Wretched Gretchen. There's a whistle, no pack is called. Jammer's released. And Wretched Gretchen sneaks to the middle. She's going to switch back. And on the back corner, Wretched Gretchen sneaks out as the lead jammer. Now Chronic Masternator sneaks around a block, and he's going to break out as well. Wretched Gretchen with a full straightaway lead, but it's closing quickly. Through the back turns, here comes Wretched Gretchen closing in on the pack. 2 blockers call, she'll call it off. 2 points for Double XY and Wretched Gretchen. A couple players still down now in the back. Extremely hot in the arena here this evening, folks. Whistle play back in. Here's the 5-second warning. And the pack is released with no pack. Jammers on their way looking for a way through. This is Wretched Gretchen. At the front, she's met by a wall of Black Ops blockers. Trying to get her way through, and Hobbit pushed out. He's got to backtrack his way back behind the field. 20 seconds gone as Hobbit finally sneaks through on the outside of the track. They're going to say that he cut, however, and that'll be a major penalty. He'll be coming to the box. Wretched Gretchen falls, gets back up. Wretched Gretchen still trying to get through the pack on the back stretch as Hobbit is in the box. Power jam for Double XY. Tremendous blocking, and now Gretchen will hand off to the pivot. It is F-150. Delicate Plower. She's met by a block and she falls. Delicate Plower looking to the inside. Now she cuts back. Coming in on the corner. 2 blockers fall, and Delicate Plower grabbing the jammer helmet. Breaks out. The pivot is now being sent to the box. And here comes Hobbit. Power jam over for Double XY. Pack realizes just in time to throw the hit. Here comes Delicate Flower along the back stretch, and she's going to call it off with Hobbit right next to her. Ginger Fight Huss was the one sent to the box on that play. Looks like Red and Tic Tac Toe going to come out to jam. 60-24, the score in favor of Double XY. About 20 seconds left to go. And it will be a power jam for Black Ops. Red is on his way as the sole jammer out there. Ginger Fight Huss also in the penalty box as Red sneaks around the outside. He is all alone. It is a power jam for Black Ops. He's met by the blockers. Ginger Fight Huss penalty over. Red already through on the Grand Slam once. He's going to go through a second time, another 5 points. And he's going to go for more with Delicate Flower still in the box. Black Ops blocker. Guilo for show picked up the penalty. Red being met by Splat Benatar there. Tries to go directly through Call Me Buble, and that's another pass and another 5 points. Delicate Plowher back on the track. And here comes Red in behind the pack. Already 10 points on the board. Delicate Flower closing in, and Red will call off the jam. (64-36) is the score in favor of Double XY. Black Ops picking up the points there. Tic-tac-toe for XXY. And Chronic Mastinator, 322 for Black Ops are the jammers. And immediately Tic-tac-toe is out to pick up the lead jammer. Chronic Mastinator now out of the pack. Here comes Tic-tac-toe onto the front stretch. He's got the pack in front of him. Penalty over for Black Ops. Tic-tac-toe passes the field and calls off the jam. Five points on the jam for XXY. We're going to put 3 on the board actually. 67-14 in favor of the team in white. This is Co-Ed Chaos from the Ted Reeve Arena in Toronto. I'm Matthew Carrick with the call here on JVI Video. Red back to jam for Black Ops and Holly de Havilland for XXY. Red getting blocked there by a combination of Splat Benatar and Call Me Buble. And Holly de Havilland falls. Red made it through, but he's picked up an infraction and he'll head to the box. It's a power jam for XXY. Holly de Havilland clearing the pack. Reaches the blockers, tries to goes outside. Huge block there by Chronic Mastinator. They're going to send him off for a penalty. Holly de Havilland going to keep up. Chronic Mastinator and Red sitting in the penalty box. Holly de Havilland going to try the inside, cuts back to go through the middle, and she is past the pack. Here she comes again with the pack stalled. Takes a hit there. Holly de Havilland around the outside. There's 5 more on the board. 15 already here in the jam. Holly de Havilland going to keep going. Now here comes Red out of the penalty box. Holly de Havilland picking up 5 more. Red catching the pack. He's going to go through. He will be the trail jammer, and Holly de Havilland coming along the back stretch. Pulling her blocker, she'll slingshot herself through the pack and call off the jam just as Chronic Masternator's penalty expires. 21 points on the jam. Brings to a total of 88 for XXY. To a total of 41 there for Black Ops. 10 minutes gone here in the second half. Wretched Gretchen back to block for double XY. And Guilo Fauchot, 44-44, back for Black Ops. Back on their way, they'll wait for the whistle. And now the jammers are released. Immediately, Wretched Gretchen right into the middle of the pack. Guilo Fauchot stuck at the back. Wretched Gretchen falls on the outside. Continues to try the outside, now cuts back. Guilo Fauchot getting team blocked there on the inside. Wretched Gretchen gets pushed out by Red. Should they go all the way back? They're going to call a cut on Guilo Fauchot. He's going to head to the box. Another power jam for double XY. Wretched Gretchen still trying to get through the pack. She's knocked out of bounds again by Red. And he's going to continue to back up. Wretched Gretchen back in the track. She's going to set up the outside block. Try to go inside, cut back. She's come around the turn. She's blocked out again, and now finally she does break her way out through the pack. Guilo Fauchot still in the box. There's 5 seconds left in this jam. We'll see what Wretched Gretchen can do. And that'll do it. A full 2-minute jam. Wretched Gretchen able to pick up 1 point for double XY. .20 remaining in the Guilo Fauchot penalty. We've got tic-tac-toe back to do the jamming. Guilo Fauchot still in the box. 20 seconds remaining on his penalty. Tic-tac-toe will do the jamming. Gets a bit of help there from Call Me Buble, and he goes around the outside. Beat the last jammer, but went outside to do it. He'll have to cut back in. Guilo Fauchot is out of the box. Tic-tac-toe coming around. Tic-tac-toe being held up at the back of the pack there by Chronic Masternator. Now he splits the 2 blockers but falls. Chronic Masternator on him again. He'll knock him out of bounds. Tic-tac-toe cutting back. Fooled Chronic Masternator. Nurse Joe. Try to block as well. Tic-tac-toe still held up at the back. Halfway through this jam. Tic-tac-toe pushed out of bounds one more time. Guilo Fauchot trying to pass off the jammer penny to his pivot. He's blocked out there by Splat Benatar. finally the pass is exchanged, and it will be Jill Farrell becomes the jammer. Big hit there, and there's 2 girls down. Jill Farrell and Splat Benatar connected heavily in behind the play. It looks like Splat Benatar got the worst of that exchange. Bit of an awkward collision right in the middle of the pack as Jill Farrell grabbed the jammer penny. As the pivot, she can take that away. Captain of Double XY and also husband to Splat Benatar, they're on the scene as well. And she's still down on the track. Getting up slowly with the assistance of the medical team and Call Me Google. Splat Benatar is up. She is, with her own power, she'll make her way over to the medical bench. She is the alternate captain of this team. She is one of the people that organizes things here, Splat Benatar. She will get attention. Looks like paying attention to the left leg, left calf, left thigh, as she's over there getting attended to by the medics. Penalty picked up in that last jam to Pinky Tuffadero of XXY. Holly de Havilland back to jam and breaking out as the lead jammer is Hobbit for Black Ops. Hobbit coming along the front straightaway. He's got a full, half-track lead as Holly de Havilland has reached the pivot. And now she breaks out of the pack. Hobbit tries to pass on the inside of the track and he gets pushed out of bounds. Now we'll switch back to the outside. Holly de Havilland closing in on the back of the pack, but Hobbit's going to call it off after putting up 4 points. 3 points on that last jam. Brings the total to 44 for Black Ops to 93 for XXY. That does in fact bring us to the halfway point of the period. 5 seconds. Justine Sane will take the jammer star for XXY. We've got an injury right off the bat here. It's Commando Karen of Black Ops crawling off the track, asking for the medics. Didn't see what the injury was down here. She's asked for some water as well. She's not gotten up. She's not putting any pressure on that. And Splat Benatar says she's okay. Chronic Masternator and Justine Sane back to do the jamming. Justine Sane for XXY. Chronic Masternator for Black Ops. Justine Sane broke out of the pack, but she crossed the track to do it, and she's going to come to the penalty bench. Just as Pinky Tuffadero gets out of the penalty box. Chronic Masternator sneaks through the inside, beating a block. He'll pick up 5 points. The Grand Slam on the power jam. He'll sneak through the inside again. That's 5 more for Chronic Masternator. 10 on the jam. He's still got 1:20 to go. Justine Sane, still in the sin bin. Going around the outside, beating the last blocker. That's 5 more for Chronic Masternator. Red, a huge hit on Call Me Buble, knocks him out of bounds as Chronic Masternator comes through for more. They're going to call him for a block. Justine Sane ready to get out of the penalty box now. Here's Chronic Masternator going around the outside. That's 5 more. He's picked up 20 here in the jam. Justine Sane out of the sin bin. Rejoins the fray. Chronic Masternator tried to split the defense. And this time he does, dropping. But they're going to call him for an illegal block. That'll give a power jam over to XXY. And Justine Sane, fresh out of the sin bin herself. And here comes Chronic Masternator to start his penalty. Justine Sane dropped on the track by Red. He continues to back up to the back of the pack. And that'll do it. 2 minutes on the jam. 20 points for Chronic Masternator before he picked up that penalty. That draws them that much closer. We're 89-64, and we've got a timeout on the floor by the Black Ops. Timeout called by the Oklahoma Prison Squirrels. Quilo for show asking for an explanation on a call from that previous jam. Looks like tic-tac-toe stretching out. He's got the Jammer's star on his helmet. F-150. Delicate Plower will be the pivot. SS Sativa. Chronic Masternator still in the sin bin. So tic-tac-toe, the only jammer out there. 3x3. Pack is released. They pass the line, and here comes tic-tac-toe. All the way around the outside. Tried to toe the line, but couldn't hold it as he goes out of bounds. Comes back in, he's all alone. So they pull the hot dog move with the jammer coming out of the penalty line. Tic-tac-toe. Sneaking past the pack for 5 points. Penalty to Chronic Masternator is over. He will join the back of the field. Halfway through this jam on time as tic-tac-toe sneaks through. He fell as he did so. Rejoins the back of the pack. Tag team here, Delicate Plow her and shut her down. Trying to shut down Chronic Masternator. They push him out of bounds. Meanwhile, tic-tac-toe coming around the back stretch. He'll join the back of the pack. He sneaks through as Chronic Masternator does the same. Chronic Masternator on the back. 2 points away from triple digits are XXY. They've got 9 here in this jam. Chronic Masternator comes up to the back of the pack right as tic-tac-toe calls it off. 10 points in the jam for tic-tac-toe, the 11th jam of the half. 99-68 lead here for XXY. Again, like we said, 1 point away from passing the century mark here in this point. 5 seconds given Jammer will be Wretched Gretchen and Hobbit. Hobbit was forced out of bounds, so we had to come back on to join. Wretched Gretchen stuck in a number of Black Ops blockers there as Hobbit falls down in the back. Wretched Gretchen forced out. She had to backtrack to the back of the pack. Meanwhile, Hobbit breaks out. He is the lead jammer. Wretched Gretchen trying to use the bulldozer move with the help of Pinky Tuffadero to get through. Didn't work. Now Gretchen forced to play blocker here. She knocks Hobbit out of bounds. Hobbit came back in. They ruled Wretched Gretchen was the one who knocked him out of bounds, and he's going to come and sit. He doesn't like the call, but it is a power jam for XXY. If Wretched Gretchen can make her way out past the pack. Forced out of bounds and has to do a restart at the back. Nice block there, allows her to come up on red, the final blocker, and he pushes her out of bounds and immediately rushes to the back of the pack. He's still backtracking, he's down, he's almost on the front stretch now as Wretched Gretchen joins behind it. Rest of the pack on the back straightaway. Black Ops will join up and she'll meet a wall. Lucy Tuffadero pushing the whole pack out of bounds. A few of them fell. Wretched Gretchen still trying to work her way free as Hobbit sits in the box. Big block there. Ginger fight us. And Wretched Gretchen came out. The jammer helmet is passed off to the pivot just as time expires. It's on the 2-minute jam clock. Guelo for show comes in to have a word with the officials about that penalty to Hobbit. And that was in fact his 4th minor. It wasn't actually a major penalty for cutting the track. Hobbit's still in the box. Holly de Havilland comes out to do the jamming. Call on the Hobbit penalty was a 4th minor. Holly de Havilland comes out, and she is the lead jammer as Hobbit rejoins the track. He'll meet the back of the pack. Tries to sneak on the outside of the pivot, and he's forced out. Meanwhile, Holly de Havilland this is SS Sativa taking a penalty. She'll head over to the box. Meanwhile, Holly de Havilland has picked up a few more points there. Past the century mark now. Our double XY. Nice cutback move there. Holly de Havilland is past the back. Hobbit trying to work his way through the pack. He cuts on the inside of Call Me Buble. And he does get out through. Holly de Havilland also making her way through the pack. She's picked up another couple of points. She's up to 17 here on the jam. Hobbit making his way to the back of the pack, and Holly de Havilland going to call it off. Referee doesn't see it. Here's Hobbit cutting back in. Inside, Hobbit is past the pack. And now Holly de Havilland passing the pack again. Hobbit able to pick up 4 points on that jam. But meanwhile, 21 for Holly de Havilland. Just when we thought that Black Ops might be just getting back into this. XXY. Couple of power jams there. And one with the pivot on the bench. As there's a timeout called on the floor. Timeout, XXY. 14th jam of the period upcoming. Call Me Buble for XXY and Chronic Masternator for Black Ops out there to do the jamming. Penalty about to expire for SS Sativa. SS Sativa back on the track. Passes the line and the jammers are released. Chronic Masternator through his blockers, but he meets the entire team of XXY. SS Sativa fell in front. Call Me Buble trying to break through now. Chronic Masternator forced to the back. Call Me Buble forced out of bounds and had to back up. Meanwhile, Chronic Masternator jumps out to lead jammer. Call Me Buble pushed out one more time. Chronic Masternator has reached the back of the pack. Cuts to the inside. He was pushed to the outside, and that created the opening he needed. He's put 5 on the board. And now Call Me Buble. Call Me Buble being sent to the sin bin. Power jam for the Black Ops. And Chronic Masternator puts 5 more on the board. He will call off the jam. Red comes by the penalty bench and he gives a few words to Call Me Buble. Again, Red and Call Me Buble have been going after each other all night long. Call Me Buble in the box with the jammer helmet on. Hobbit back to do the jamming for Black Ops. Call Me Buble still in the sin bin. Hobbit pushed out. He rejoins the track. Tries to come through the inside. Now he switches back to the middle. Cuts all the way through, but an illegal cut put him in front. He does not have lead jammer status. Blocked by Justine Sane, pushes Hobbit out of bounds. And just as Call Me Buble stands up and leaves the sin bin, Hobbit comes to sit down along with Justine Sane. Call Me Buble immediately around the outside, cut back to go beat the last blocker on the inside. No pack was called. Call Me Buble taking the blocks from Holly de Havilland and working around it. He's picked up a few points. Now he's going to beat the last jammer. Last blocker, pardon me. Puts 5 on the board. Has a quick look at the score clock as he makes the final turn coming around the back. Takes a block from Guelo for show. Now he's going to pass off the jammer helmet to the pivot, but there's no time. Hobbit standing is going to have to wait, as time did not quite expire. 5 points apiece picked up in that last jam. 126 to 8-2. Guelo for show in there for the explanation as well. I believe they're discussing the cutting the track penalty. Call Me Buble came in to ask why no timeout, pardon me, was assessed to the team. Whistle blows. Hobbit rejoins the track from the sin bin. Tic-tac-toe out there for XXY. Justine Sane's penalty is over. She rejoins the track as well. Tic-tac-toe trying to make his way through the middle of the blocking, as does Hobbit. Tic-tac-toe takes the block from Red. Red wearing the pivot stripe for Black Ops. And Tic-tac-toe already caught up to the pack for a second time. He's pushed out of bounds. And a huge hit in the pack sends Justine Sane to the outside. Hobbit tripped up as well. He came out. Fourth minor once again for Hobbit. He's going to make his way to the sin bin. Tic-tac-toe still held up. We're in the final minute of this second period with XXY on the power jam, as Hobbit's going to come and have a seat in the sin bin. Hobbit in the box. Tic-tac-toe was pushed outside with the score 126-85. Looks like Tic-tac-toe just going to allow time to expire here. Backtracking all the way. 15 seconds left in the jam. Tic-tac-toe is calling it off. And now it's noticed by the officials, and that will do it. Your final score, XXY 126, Black Ops 85. Co-ed chaos here from the Ted Reeve Arena, hosted by a great show, a victory lap for the winners, XXY, as they come around. And Black Ops will salute the crowd as well. Come to join the high five line here as they come around the track, putting on a great show. Whether it's for exhibition, or stats, or otherwise. You got it, buddy. Absolutely. Splat Benatar coming around to say hi as well. Again, still holding that ice back to the back of her thigh. XXY in co-ed chaos here, picking up the 126-85 victory. That will do it for our first ever roller derby coverage. We'll be right back after this quick break. Matthew Carrick down here on the floor at Ted Reeve Arena. Right after the co-ed chaos derby, I'm standing with Call Me Bublé.
My Call Bublé.
My Call Bublé. I've been calling you the wrong name all night long. Sorry,
yeah,
man.
It's Michael Bublé, My Call Bublé.
Exactly. That must be where I got screwed up. We'll change it officially for next game. You will, for me, yeah.
I will. Although I don't get to play much. We don't have many of these situations where we have co-ed team play.
Yeah.
It's just we do it once a year usually. We did it last year for the first time. This year's our second go at it. So it's just a chance that some of the refs and coaches get a chance to play with the girls who usually kick our tails. So
that was going to be my first question because, I mean, when people think roller derby, they think back to the 70s, the stage, the brawls, the fights, the movies. What is it about the new sport that people are starting to catch on?
The biggest difference now, although this probably wasn't the game to watch to indicate that, but it is a very serious sport at this point. The way that especially in the women's flat track derby, it's being taken seriously as a sport. It's being officiated as a serious sport, and it's played completely in the way of a sport. And there's not a show aspect to the sport at this point. It's pretty much something that we're just trying to establish. That it is serious, and it is something that everybody takes it very seriously. The hits are all real hits, and the fact is that the contact on the track has levels of legality, so there's a lot of rules around how you can contact a player, how you can't. Like me, I was contacting illegally tonight when I got sent to the box with my forearms, which is illegal, so things like that. Yeah, but it's something that we're definitely trying to grow it, for sure. It's been in Canada since basically 6 years now. 2006 is when actually Splat started Derby, and then I started reffing, and then we started the league about a year later.
Cool. And you said 6 years. I mean, it's taken off internationally as well. The first World Cup was held last year.
Yes.
There is talk, speculation. I want to ask you about that, about maybe Olympics in 2020.
Yeah, well, I mean, there is talk, right? We don't know the details, but people have been talking that there's a chance that it may make it to Olympics. All I can say is that we can hope for it. That's what I'm hoping for.
So how does Derby take that next step then? I mean, people are catching on. They realize it's real.
Mm-hmm.
They realize it's actually sport now. And how do people catch on? How do we get to the next step?
I think that what's been happening, which has been really good for Derby right now, is that there was a time where it was, big city was the only place you could find it. Now you can find it in every little town and city, and everybody's starting it. So it's about that community outreach. Once more people are aware of it, the legitimacy of it as a sport, and that's going to help us get that outreach that we want to, that we get more of that spirit that it is, in fact, a true sport, and we'll be taken more seriously about it.
Final question. I got to ask you about the sign you've got right there. I understand it's your birthday.
It is my birthday.
And 44 years old.
I am 44, unfortunately.
This is not... I mean, it's not the sport just for the young guns. I mean, anyone can truly do it.
No, we have players. We've had players as old as 50 playing in our league, and it's been something that really is. As soon as you're 18 plus, you can start playing, and the sky's the limit. We haven't been eliminating players for being too old or too young, so it's been something that's open to everybody.
Cool, big victory for you guys tonight.
Yeah.
Congratulations, happy birthday.
Thank you.
You got it. Back down on the floor after the co-ed chaos tonight. I'm with Chronic Masternator. I don't want to say it wrong.
No, that's it. That's right. It's perfect.
First question for you. I mean, this is a lot of fun, and we already talked with one gentleman as well, but this is mostly a women's sport. How is it? I mean, how do you like it coming down here and playing this as well?
I've known the GTA girls for a long time. I started as a referee about 4 or 5 years ago, and then some of the girls asked me, try and play, and I tried and play. It was a lot of fun. So up in Ottawa, where I'm from, I skate with the Rideau Valley Rollergirls as a referee, and they got enough gusto when we got enough guys interested. We started a men's team, and then we started co-ed scrimmaging there every week through the winter. So we got kind of hooked on it, and now I can't give it up.
Do you see, I mean, there's girls' leagues all over, and they're popping up. And the last person we talked to said, it used to be like the big cities only had teams. Do you see a room for advancement in the male game as well?
Absolutely. There's the GTA ladies actually just started their WFTDA apprenticeship this year. You may already know that. But there's also started recently. There's a men's roller derby association. It's got about a dozen teams in the States. Montreal is a men's team. They just got into the MRDA as well. There's men's teams slowly popping up everywhere as well, because a lot of guys have the derby wives, and now they're sitting on the sidelines, but then they say, hey, there's more guys teams popping up. Why don't we play here? And it starts out just for fun. You got to start out playing with the girls, and then slowly enough guys start trickling in, and there will be interest, I hope.
Sure, and I think too, because everyone associates. We talked about this with the last player we had. Everyone associates it with the old school game and the movies and the fights and professional wrestling and that sort of thing. Do you think it's the fact that guys are realizing this is a sport, the hits are real, and there's huge action? You think that's drawing them in as well?
Absolutely. There was the World Cup was just this past December in Toronto. That got a lot of attention everywhere, and more male referees. There is more male referees in the women's sport are starting to find out that, hey, this is a lot of fun to play as well. And being a good player makes you a good ref. Being a good ref makes you a good player, and it just sort of balances itself out. You become better at both things by doing both of them. And yeah, like World Cup, women's roller derby is actually on one of the voting spots for the next couple of Olympics. Maybe not 2016, but maybe 2020 there might be roller derby actually in the Olympics. We're fighting for that.
Cool. Let's talk about this game specifically, because I mean, you guys a pretty big loss for your team. Your role is primarily as the jammer. How important is it to you to have those teammates on the floor with you doing what they call the blocking?
You have to have them. You can't. This isn't a sport where one person can do anything. It's all four together working on one common goal, And if you can break it down and get 3-on-1 common goal and 1 to help your jammer, that's the best you can hope for, because other than that, there's too much space in the track. One person can't do it all alone. You have to have all 4. Penalties are devastating in this sport.
Yeah, we saw that as well. A few of your guys off, and the jammer as well. I mean, that hurts you as well. Right?
Yeah, and it's a call is a call, and it helps being a ref because you realize, oh, yeah, no contest, off we go. We'll just serve our penalty and get back onto the floor as quick as you can, because that's the most you can do, and maybe, help call some strategies from the box whenever you can.
Now, this is our first roller derby broadcast. For some of our fans that are maybe watching, maybe don't know, they do live in a city that, is there roller derby around me? How can they find out, and how can they get involved?
Look it up online. Just type in roller derby in Toronto. You'll have pop-ups for the GTA Rollergirls. You have pop-ups for Torrid, and it's all over the place. There's Canuck Derby TV is a great spot. They have archives. You can go and watch past games there. Derby News Network carries a lot of live games. Derby News Network carries all the WFTDA sanctioned games. That's the serious league in the States. That's very high competition. And especially in the East, we have a lot of access to really good, highly competitive teams. So there's tons of derby out there. You just type it in and up it'll come.
Cool. Thank you very much. Chronic Masternator here at the end of Co-Ed Chaos, sponsored by the GTA Rollergirls. Here at the Ted Reeve Arena, Matthew Carrick going to wrap things up here from GTA Rollergirls presentation of Co-Ed Chaos. It's a great sport. I mean, I went and watched one myself. Just happened to get the tickets and absolutely hooked. I know a lot of our crew is hooked. I hope that we've got you involved as well. We're hoping to bring you a lot more roller derby here on JVI Productions, webcast-sports.com. Remember to follow us on Twitter at JVI Video and use the hashtag JVI. Whole ton more sports to come for you. Hopefully more roller derby. Remember to check us out and remember to keep watching. Thank you very much and have a great evening, folks.